Oh, bro, when is Revolveragz coming out? Anyways, this is a topic I've wanted to actually talk about for a while, and it's kind of bothering me. Are CC games ruining Roblox? Why is every game that comes out feel like it's a CC game? And are CC games ruining the feel, the anticipation, and the overall enjoyment of Roblox game? Let's actually break down this topic and talk about the elephant that's been right in front of our faces for a couple of years now. Now, if you want me to be honest, well, for me at least, there are different types of CC games, in my opinion. You have the ones that quote unquote do it right, and for me, that would be games like the original Type Soul, Tokyo Re, and even games like Revolveragz, and I'll expand on that. Put simply, if you remember OG Type Soul or the original Type Soul, they were actually in a CC phase for quite a while. I don't remember the time frame because I really hated CC games and I just wouldn't pay attention to anything that had CC labels on it, so I wasn't in tune with it until Slikage posted the video saying this game is actually going free to play very soon. He posted some CC content of them showing him how to actually play the game's PvP, and the PvP looked interesting, genuinely. And usually developers lie or delay or lie or delay or lie or delay or charge you 50 million US dollars. But after Slykage's video, the game actually did come out free to play as promised. Now, most developers have time frames and usually make roadmaps and things of that nature. And if you've noticed anything about not even just CC games, but Roblox games in general, developers will create roadmaps and never stick to it. Show me a game that's come out within the past couple of years, I don't care how far back you go, that has made a roadmap actually stuck to it. There's only been a handful. There's been way more than a handful full of games that have made roadmaps. So yes, Type Soul actually followed the planned set schedule. Then you have games like Tokyo Re that actually have a roadmap as well. The screenshot showing on the screen. The game is going to have a free week in December, and then in January it's going to open up for public access. Yes, it's going to cost some Robux, but it's going to, the free week is to essentially see, hey, do you like the game? Is it something you think it's worth paying for? You're going to progress and play the game, and if you're like, yo, I want more, I want to continue playing Tokyo Re, you're going to pay however much Robux it's going to cost. I would assume anywhere between 200 to 500. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but those are the things that make sense to me. Again, following a set roadmap. Now, there is a chance that Tokyo Re does end up delaying some things. We'll have to wait and see, but they have a roadmap and the game's actually going to come out. And even with games like Revolveragz, we've known the game to be delayed on multiple occasions, but however, this month we are meant to be getting movie free and we were kind of meant to be getting CC. If we don't get CC this month, I would assume we'll get it sometime within the first week of November, because if we don't get it within that first week, I don't actually think we're gonna have a 2025 release. Somebody should make like a gambling site. Will Revolveragz release in 2025 and people put odds? No, I take that back. That's not, gambling isn't good. I'm sorry. Anyways, the whole point of this segment is literally saying games or CC games or games will release for CC have a roadmap of what they want to do, whether it's some sort of CC wave 1, 2, or 3, and after that, those couple of waves, the game actually releases to the public. Kind of like how Deep Woken did it, wave 0, then they did wave 1, and then they released to the public shortly after wave 1. Wave 1 only lasted 5 or 6 days, by the way, and then the game came out a couple of days afterwards. It wasn't any delays in between wave 1 and public release. I want to throw that one out there. Deep Woken and Type Soul did it perfectly, and you can consider wave 0, wave 1 kind of like a CC phase, kind of very similar, because CC, they do waves as well. So yes, Deep Woken, Type Soul, perfect. They did it perfect. Legitimately, they had a plan, they stuck to it, and they released. There wasn't any delays, there wasn't any hiccups, there wasn't any BS, there wasn't any extra payments, there wasn't any scamming involved. There was transparency, and it was done professionally. Complete respect. And then you have CC games that have a play period every 4 months. Literally, you'll have a week of being able to play the game will close down, and then you have to wait 4, 5, 6 months to play the game again for a week, and then it closed down, and it'll follow that same process for years. I kid you not. I can name names, but for the sake of not getting in trouble in this video, I will not name any names. I won't name any names. If you know CC games that do stuff like this, you know. I don't have to say it, you know. However, there are many games, not one, not two. There's been a handful of CC games, majority of CC games will have a play test for a couple of days, or the CC wave test for a couple of days, close down the game for months on end. They'll do another wave, close down the game months on end, close down the game, and they'll repeat that cycle. Now, within these closed times, the devs are usually adding more content or improving on the game or fixing bugs, adding more features, and sometimes they don't do anything at all and just open the game again whenever they want free money. Roblox developers are very, very backwards, because if you have people willing to pay for CC and when you need money you open up the game again, you should probably just work on the game with the money given and then open your game up for public and then receive an influx of legitimate money that's not scamming your player base, because people are genuinely interested in playing the game created. But who am I? I'm some random British content creator. I know absolutely nothing, right? So yes, I won't name any names, but we all, and I think every single one of you guys listening to this video that have played and experienced CC games in some way, shape or form, even if you haven't, you're in tune with the community and you know what CC games are, you know exactly what I mean, right? And these are the harmful games. These are the games that give CC a bad rep. And then you have the player base inside of those communities that just fall for it every single time. And not only that, it's like they have some sort of high testosterone ego for being able to play the game for a week, and they just belittle everyone else. I don't really get it. CC communities are just kind of cringe in general. Not all of them, because I know I'm speaking about CC and I'm just saying CC. See, a lot of games have CC and people are gonna take personal, people are gonna think I'm talking about them and take things personally. I'm not talking about all CC. If the shoe doesn't fit, I'm not talking to you, okay? All right, thank you. Anyways, and a lot of these games that do stuff like this always promise a public release and end up pushing it back every single time. They push back, they push back, they push back, they push back, and eventually the game just never releases. Just never releases. Either it never releases or the developers eventually just stop working on it. Oh my gosh, and it's so weird, and we cannot sit here and act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know those games. They push back the release date. They close the game they close the game all the time. Sometimes there are improvements to the game. There's been a lot of CC games where I've hopped in it, and the last time I played it compared to my second time playing it have been two completely different experiences, because they've improved, add more content, fixed a lot of things. However, some of those games, all of those games are still not out to the public to play for paid access or free to play. So yeah, hands in the air. Honestly, I have no idea, bro. And kind of similar to that, there are CC games that literally just bait money out. Again, they open up the game whenever they need some more money, make people pay for access again for some reason. They close the game down. You have to wait a year to play the game again, and then they run off with people's money. Those two kind of go together. I find it to be pretty disgusting. I can't lie. And CC games in general kind of make me, I don't want to name any names, but there are a few CC games where it's just like, why would I want to pay to experience this? Why would I want to pay money to experience it? It's not entertaining. And I'm talking about some of the actual people, the role-playing CC game. I'm talking about straight role-playing. Yes, Sergeant. Yes, sir. Let me not say anything too specific. Now, as of 2025, there are many CC games that are actually in development, and some of them are even coming out of their CC phases soon. I won't name any names. Some of them are actually good. Some of the games are actually very good. I don't want to say specific names, because this whole video is pretty negative about CC games, except for the games I named at the start. But yeah, no, a lot of these games are going into there are a lot of games going into the CC phase very soon. If you want me to make a separate video naming games going into CC phases within the next couple of months, some of them may even be 2026, let me know. If we get this to like 600 likes, I'll definitely do that for you guys. If not, I'll just make videos on when they're about to come out. I don't really care. But apart from what I stated before, on the most part, or on some part, not the most part, on some part, CC games aren't always actually a bad thing. Most CC games disguise the CC phase as testing phases, where developers actually use this time to not only find bugs but to patch them out within a realistic playing environment, because you're going to have an influx of players joining into the game, and the devs can actually find where bugs are when people are actually playing their game, instead of having a testing environment where they just see the bugs that are currently in the game. Whenever you release or publish a game, there's always going to be bugs. So those CC phases that are disguised as testing phases, right, are always going to be a good thing because it helps flesh out the game, right? But a lot of times these CC phases are used to implement more content, more in-game features, which should probably be done before the CC phase, but obviously it never hurts to implement more content. And this is ultimately used as prep time for the game, for the game's supposed release, quote unquote supposed public release, okay? And that's if the game ever really gets one, because we all know when a game's meant to release, it gets pushed back a whole year. 2024 and 2025 were some dark years. 2024 was the year of pushback games, CC and non-CC. 2025 was the year of games actually meant to be coming out, and none of them have come out. So it is what it is. I just had to get this off my chest. There's so many CC games in development. There's so many CC games coming out. It just felt like the perfect time to actually just vent about CC games. That's it from me. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.